Good morning, everybody. My name is Vito Fossella. I just want to pose a question that I think is on millions of people's minds around here. What if there were 3,000 reports of drones or manned aircraft sightings over the U.S. Capitol or the White House or the State House in Albany? What would happen? There would be an immediate and intense response to figure out what they were and to solve the problem. And yet, millions of people around here, New Jersey, of course, here in Staten Island, and beyond, are getting nothing but don't believe what you see. You know, there's a saying that we had after 9/11, if you see something, say something. I think that's become, if you see something, don't worry about it, because we saw it too. And the people of Staten Island deserve answers. The people of this city and state and region deserve answers of what the heck is going on. Just last night in my neighborhood, my neighbor sent a video of whatever it is flying over our house. And yet we're told, don't believe what you see. It's shocking to us that here we are almost a month later, 3,000 sightings, drones, manned aircraft, and our folks don't have an answer. We're calling upon not just the New York City Police Department, but others to get involved, get aggressive, figure out what these things are, and help at least alleviate some of the frustration, anxiety that many people share. This is 2024. They're either lying or they're incompetent or they're both. How can we, the United States of America, have this going on and we're told just look the other way? Ignore it. It's no big deal. We know for a fact that there may be some who are, performing some type of surveillance. Well, let's be honest with the American people and treat them like adults and tell them what it is. Yet here we are, standing because we know recently there were reports over this asset, the Verrazano Narrows Bridge. Here we are in Fort Wadsworth, one of the oldest military installations in the country. There was, we believe, a drone flying above the bridge. We also know on the other side of the island there was a drone flying over New York Container Port and the Goethals Bridge. And we're supposed to just let it be? Come on, folks, step up to the plate and be honest and truthful with the American people, the people of Staten Island, and solve this problem once and for all. We're in this together. I know we have many folks around this region who are weighing in now, and it's about time. We started a couple of weeks ago asking that, along with the Congresswoman, to include at least Staten Island in any investigation that's going on at the FAA and the FBI. This is not to take away from them. They didn't start this problem. But they have an obligation to let us know what the heck is going on. As I said, we're all in this together, and representing us in D.C. and Congress is our Congresswoman Nicole Maliotakis.
Thank you, Vito. 20 years ago, they filmed War of the Worlds on Staten Island. And now, we feel like we're characters in that movie. What is happening is outrageous. Thousands of drones and unmanned aerial systems flying above us, and our government is not telling us who's operating them and for what purpose. I don't believe that the United States of America, with its military capabilities, does not know what these objects are. And what I'm asking, and what we're all asking, is for you to be straight with us and just tell us what is going on. As Vito says, this is creating havoc. People are confused, they're concerned, they have anxiety, they don't know what's going on. There's all sorts of theories that are out there. And the best way to address this is to just be honest and tell the American people what is going on. These are not recreational drones. These are not, I don't believe, commercial drones, because if they are violating existing rules and regulations, which say that they need to be under 400 feet and they can't be operating in the middle of the night between sunset and sunrise. So that leaves two options. It's our government, or there's a foreign nexus. And so either our government is doing some type of surveillance activity or surveying, or what really would concern, I think, everyone, there's a foreign government that is doing this type of activity and surveillance, and they're doing it above sensitive infrastructure, Verrazano Bridge, this U.S. Coast Guard base, the Army installation across the water, power plants, ports. And so, again, just be straight with us, tell us what it is, and let's address it the best possible way so we can calm everyone down and make sure that these don't pose a threat to our national security and public safety. Because even if it is not nefarious, the fact that these things are flying all over is a public safety issue. There can be an accident. There could be an explosion. There could be a crash. This is a very densely populated area. And going back to the FAA restrictions, you cannot be flying these things above and around buildings if it's commercial or recreational. So something's not right here, and we need our government to give us answers and also put in place restrictions so that this does not continue, and enforce the existing regulations and restrictions. And that means our government needs to follow those rules as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. Recently, just a few days ago, we announced that the city, in partnership with the MTA, Port Authority, and others, actually took 70,000 ghost vehicles off the roads. Bikes, e-bikes, mopeds, motorcycles, and cars. And yet here we are helpless with these ghost drones flying above. We also know that, as Nicole said, this is a public safety issue because there were reports out of New Jersey how somebody who needed to be medevaced to a hospital was prevented from doing so because of the drones. And we're just supposed to take this lightly? With us at the state level is State Senator Jessica Scarcella-Spit.
Thank you. Good morning. One of the best sayings is that sunlight is always the best disinfectant. And leaving people and our community up to their own devices to decide what these drones might be, could be, and not giving the people answers from the top, from the government officials who are way higher up than any of us here locally, it's not right to us as we get hundreds upon hundreds of constituent requests and questions asking them what this is about, that we have no answer. So this is us standing today demanding an answer. We need to be able to tell our constituents what is going on. And even if you just could provide a little bit more information, is this something of ours? Is this something that you need to do for security purposes? Even if it's vague, an answer is better than look away. Don't look up. That's unacceptable. And the people of New York, the people of New Jersey, which I have friends who are complaining that there are dozens upon dozens above her house. She lives by a military installation in Jersey every single night, and nobody's doing anything. We need answers, and we need them now. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. Now, there's also reports of why don't you shoot them down? Perhaps the President of the United States or the Governor of the state of New York or elsewhere should say or issue an executive order to allow people to shoot the things down. There are those who have said in public life, well, don't be concerned. Some of those people actually said they don't know what they are, but don't be concerned. You can't have it both ways. How can you not know what they are and say you shouldn't be concerned? So we're getting to the point of reckless rhetoric, reckless behavior, and basically, as I said before, you're either lying or incompetent to the people. State Senate Assemblyman Michael Tanusa. What's so you know about it?
Thank you to the Borough President for holding this press conference today. Tons and tons of constituents have contacted my office. I know they contacted the offices of my colleagues, and we just don't know what to tell them. We just don't know what to tell them because we're not getting any answers. And it's completely inexcusable. They owe it to the taxpayers. We owe it to the taxpayers. We, as representatives of the taxpayers, need to be able to inform our constituents of what the investigation has yielded. And we have none of that. We have none of that. They're either lying or they're incompetent. It's 2024. You mean to tell me that we don't have the means to find out what these are within our own borders? Over New Jersey, over Staten Island, over the tri-state area? Completely inexcusable. And I call, not just on the federal government, I call on the New York State Police, I call on the NYPD to get involved, coordinate, investigate, so we could finally get some answers for our constituents. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Well, point of personal privilege. At 10:02, I just became a grandfather.
Aren't you glad we moved the press conference up?
Our first grandchild, Riley Parker.
Congratulations.
So congratulations to Kirsten and Dylan. I'm sorry about that.
Boy
Not
or
sorry
girl?
about the baby.
Boy or girl?
Anyway.
Boy or girl?
With us, a great fighter locally in the city council, great, not just a great representative, a great person, Councilman David Card.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Borough President. Congratulations, and we appreciate your leadership. Even when, you know, family's duty calls, you're here with us today fighting. And I particularly want to thank also the Congresswoman who's been on top of this since this issue first emerged. She's been absolutely a fighter for us in DC and here in New York. And the truth of the matter is that the people just want to know what's going on. Communication breeds confidence. Silence breeds insecurity. And if this is really nothing, right, then just get us the answer and tell us what it is. When sightings of this nature happen of this magnitude and above sensitive locations, above people's homes, they have a right to want to know what is going on. They have a right to answers. And that's all we're seeking. We're seeking answers so that we can calm the situation down, if indeed it is something that is not a big deal. And if it is a big deal, the people also need to be secure in the knowledge that whatever it is, that their government at every level, federal, state, and city, is acting in their best interest, is acting to protect them and their families. And they're never going to know that unless they get the answers that we're all here seeking today. So I thank my colleagues here in Staten Island and throughout the region for their leadership in seeking those answers, and we commit to our constituencies that we're going to get them the security that they deserve. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilman. And joining us on the North Shore, a great person indeed, a good friend, Councilmember Camilla Hanks.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Once again, you have the entire Staten Island elected officials standing before you today because these times are uncertain. And in these uncertain times, every day adds a new issue that affects our public safety. So the latest are now drones. So I'm not going to belabor the point for time and warmth to repeat everything that my colleagues have said here behind me. But I am here to make sure that the hundreds of constituents that reached out to our office, that I am here with you. Staten Island elected officials are here with you. We are here demanding answers for the NYPD, our government, and anyone and everyone who can let us know what's happening. Again, these times are uncertain and people are afraid. Every day there's a new calamity, a new thing that is threatening our public safety. So I thank our borough president, our congresswoman, and my colleagues standing behind me. It's wonderful to have such colleagues that are always on call and are always there fighting for the betterment of Staten Island. Thank you so much. Stay warm and happy holidays.
Thank you, Councilmember. Michelle, you're not going to speak?
No.
Okay, from Councilman Barrowe's office, Michelle, and from DA McMahon's office, James Clinton. James, want to say something? Sure. Okay. Thank you.
Good morning, folks. James Clinton here on behalf of Staten Island District Attorney Mike McMahon. I want to congratulate the borough president. Also thank him for gathering us here today. You've heard some of the potential public safety risks associated with these drones. It's very easy to imagine a worst case scenario here, but we deserve to know what's flying in our skies. We deserve to protect our airspace. Staten Islanders deserve answers. So too do our neighbors in Jersey, all right? And there's another concern here, which is we've seen this over the past 4 years, really, is when the federal government is not readily forthcoming, or even local government is not readily forthcoming with critical information that Americans are demanding, it's very easy for misinformation, disinformation, and fear to spread, which is something we all want to prevent, right? So the best way to prevent that is transparency. And right now we're not getting those answers. So yes, as the Assemblyman stated, we're calling on the NYPD, but we're also calling on federal law enforcement to empower local law enforcement, make sure that we get the resources, technology, and necessary people power here on the ground to conduct a thorough investigation, find out what is going on here, and get those answers back to the American people. You know, the DA's office is here today because this is a nonpartisan issue. This is about government transparency and public safety. Thank you.
All right, James, thank you. From Assemblyman Mike Riley's office, Denise, you have a statement?
Good morning. I am Denise Pacheco. I represent Assemblymember Michael Riley. I apologize that the Assemblymember could not be here this morning. Like his colleagues before us, he is deeply concerned about the recent drone activity reported in our community. As you've seen today, we are committed to working with our partners in government and law enforcement to investigate this matter. And we'll continue to monitor the situation as it develops. The safety and security of our community, I apologize for that, for our community, of course, is our top priority. Assemblymember Riley encourages Staten Islanders to report any suspicious drone activity to local authorities by calling 311 or 911. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you, Denise. Anybody else? Got everybody? So here you have it. You know, we're speaking with one voice. I think we're speaking on behalf of the voice of people, 500,000 people in Staten Island, millions across this region. You know, I dare say, for those who are dating ourselves, perhaps it's time to call in the Drone Ranger. With all that said, I don't know. Sorry about that. Anyway, the mommy and the baby are doing great. That's most important to me right now. So
yesterday we heard from...
All right, again, listening in there as lawmakers are demanding answers on these mysterious drone sightings more than 3 weeks after dozens of these drones began popping up in the New Jersey sky. The Pentagon has not disclosed answers about where they came from. However, the Pentagon earlier this week denied that the drones were launched from an Iranian mothership off the U.S.